Good morning, and welcome to your first day on the job with CLVR Carpentry. The crew is all here today, nice and early, and we've got a busy day ahead. We'll be working on 3 different houses, and doing a range of construction tasks to round out our time together. I see that you have all of your PPE on, including your boots, hard hat, protective eyewear, and cut-resistant gloves. Let's get on with our day. We are going to start by cutting and attaching a doorway header on a wall that we are laying out on the floor over there. The team will set it into place and finish the framing after you're done. There's a stack of 2x6 beside the workbench. Grab an 8-foot length and we'll cut the first 2 pieces of the header. Place it on the workbench so we can do our layout. The door is 36 inches wide and has a rough opening width of 38 inches. Your header needs to be 3 inches longer than your rough opening to account for the width of the studs on either side. Grab your tape measure and mark out a cut line now for each piece of wood. So that's 38 plus 3. Remember, it's better to measure twice and cut once to avoid miscuts. Run your tape measure from the end of the wood and stop when you reach 41 inches. Then, you can lock your tape into place and grab a pencil from the cup to mark the cut line. That mark is at a good place. We need to make sure that we also make a line for cutting. It's pretty easy to get a straight cut on a small stock like this, but if you're cutting plywood, you will be glad that you did. Grab your speed square off the side bench, put it next to the mark, and run the pencil down the side. Yo, great work! We are going to do the same thing for the second cut we need to make on this board. Starting on your current mark, make a mark at 82 inches where the second cut should go. That mark looks like it's in the right place. Grab your speed square and make another line. That's the 2x6 done. Pick it up and set it aside. Pick up a 2x4 and put it on the bench. Mark it at 41 inches as well. The speed square will be our friend again. Place it in position and mark the line. That's great. Now that you have those marked out, move them off the bench and grab one of the scraps of plywood from the scraps bin. That one sitting on the edge looks about the right size. Put the piece of plywood on the bench and mark it at 41 inches where we can cut it to bring it down to length. Never throw away wood offcuts till the site is shut down. It can come in useful for making cripple studs or fillers just like this. That mark seems to be in a good place. And this plywood is already ripped to 6 inches wide, so we can cut it on the miter saw along with the 2x6. Mark a line with your speed square and pencil just like before, and we will be done all our layout. That's all our layout lines done, so time to clean up. Put your pencil back in the cup and hang your speed square on the side of the bench. Then, grab your lumber and move over to the miter saw. Remove any debris or tripping hazards away from the saw. Place the 2x6 on the rollers and under the miter saw. Lean the plywood and 2x4 up against the wall. Compound miter saws can cut at angles, so make sure that the blade is set to square. Be sure to put on your safety glasses before you start cutting. Pull the trigger on the miter saw. Lower the blade until it touches the wood. First cut done. Take the short piece off the saw and stack it on the folding bench next to you. Next, slide the 2x6 down to the next cut mark and make your second cut. Second cut finished. Take the second piece and place it on the folding bench with the other one. Then, put the remainder in the scrap pile for the next person who needs one. Next up is the 2x4. Take it from the wall and place it under the saw and cut it to length. Remember that the scrap goes in the bin and the cut piece onto the workbench. Next, grab that piece of plywood and cut it to length as well. Perfect. Put the remainder into the scrap pile and the cut piece on the bench with the others. Great work! Grab the two 2x6 pieces and grab the 1/2-inch plywood. Stack them neatly with the 2x6 on the bottom, the 1/2-inch plywood in the middle, and the other 2x6 piece on the top. This is called sandwiching them together. Now, make sure they are lined up perfectly or flush on the sides and ends. They will need to be near the front edge so we can clamp them down for nailing. The 2x4 piece is attached later. Grab 2 bar clamps and tighten them onto either end to hold the sandwich together. Grab your hammer and 2-inch galvanized nails. You can find them on the bench step. Hammer the pieces together. This size of header will require 4 rows of nails. The spots will be marked for you. Good job. Now remove your clamps and put them away. You don't need them anymore. Turn over the header and repeat this process. It has to be nailed from both sides. You can practice this task as many times as you'd like. Pick up the header and put it on the edge. We will finish the header by putting the 2x4 on the top. Pick up the 2x4. Attach the 2x4 to the header. Nail down the 2x4 in the places indicated. Return the box of nails and the hammer to the bench step. Then, take the header over and put it in place above the door. That's a good-looking header. The other crew will attach it and set the wall in place. Thank goodness we put that doorway in the right location. Header over to the next house now for your next carpentry project. Just tap on your watch to go to the next location. Okay, on to our next task. We will be helping to install some kitchen cabinets. The crew from yesterday hung a 1x2-inch ledger from the 54-inch line to help support the upper kitchen cabinets while you are hanging them. They also marked stud lines on the wall, which are 16-inch centers, and matching lines on the inside of the cabinets. Let's get going. It's always best to begin with the corner unit or from the left if you don't have a corner unit. Grab your drill now and drill a hole in the top, middle, and bottom at the 16-inch marks on the back of the cabinet. Pick up the left cabinet now, and set it into place at the left corner and resting on the ledger line. It will sit on the ledger just fine. Use your drill and screws to set it into place. Sink screws into the 3 holes that you made earlier. Don't tighten all the way, just enough to hold the cabinet in place. You will snug them up later. Perfect job. Grab your level and wood shims. Don't worry, your set screws on the 16-inch studs will hold the cabinet in place. Check that it is level by setting your level on the bottom shelf of the cabinet. Check that it is plumb or vertically level by placing your level on the right side of the cabinet. Oops, it's a bit off center. Grab a shim and place it in the lower corner near the ledger. That will push it away from the wall to make it level. Now that the shim is in place, check for level and plumb one more time. 100%! Outstanding job! Let's make this wall look like a row of kitchen cabinets. Grab the other cabinet, and we will drill the holes just as before. Place the cabinet on the cleat and match it up with the face of the last cabinet. Since we made sure that the last cabinet was true and level, we can just line this one up and we're good. Now, take your quick clamp from the workbench and attach it to the two cabinets so we don't move it around while we put in the screws. Just like we did for the last cabinet, we will put the screws into the wall. We will also use 2 screws to attach the cabinet to the last one. Great. Now that we have these started, it will be easy for the crew to finish these upper cabinets. Time to put your tools away before you start on your next task. Remember, these are your tools, and they cost a lot. Good tools are an investment, so take care of them. It's also important to leave a safe working space for the rest of the crew. Put all your tools in the box next to your bench. That's a nice clean workspace that you left for the next crew. Terrific job placing the upper cabinets. I think this will be a nice looking kitchen. Thanks for your help here. It's time to move on to the next house. You have some hardwood flooring to install. Just tap your watch, then press the teleport button to move to the next house. Our last project of the day is to install 3/4-inch hardwood flooring in this bedroom. The last crew prepped the subflooring. The new hardwood pieces have acclimated to the room for over 72 hours. They also removed the warped and defective boards. The boards are all really straight, so you're ready to begin. Grab your air nailer and put some spacers from the workbench in your tool belt. Then, grab a few pieces of flooring as well. Lay your first board down in the right corner. Set 4 spacers in place on the side and end. 4 spacers equals 3/4 of an inch, which is required for the expansion gap. Press the board against the spacers to set it in place. Wonderful work! Now we are going to face nail the first board to the floor. Face nailing is when you nail down from the top where it can be seen on its face. Grab the tapping block and mallet from the workbench. Set it on the floor beside your tools. Grab some more boards as well if you have some extra carrying capacity. Place 4 spacers along the wall, and place the next board right next to them, up against the last board. Now hook your tapping block on the end of the new board and give it a whack with your hammer. That will seat the new board into the old one. Face nail this board just like the last. Every 6 inches, a ½ inch from the wall. We are going to continue laying flooring till we reach the wall. Phew. The first row was almost done. I'd say this calls for a well-earned break. As a carpenter, it's always nice to see the result of a job well done. Thanks for all you did today. From building a header to installing some cabinets and flooring, you really got to experience what being a carpenter is all about. We'll see you next time.